Hey everybody, it's rillystar. As you can tell, I still haven't gotten over my cold. It's been almost a week now, so I apologize for the lack of makeup and everything else, but trying a little bit of a different setup here today, and I'm also fiddling around with my sound settings just because I found that when I wasn't doing video editing, a lot of my lives had a very, very soft sound, and especially with my voice sounding so croaky like it is right now, I wanted to kind of try and adjust a few things. Oh, and now I've got music going in the background. I don't even know what's going on anymore. That's okay. I'm just gonna turn off the sound from my live stream. That's probably what's causing me some confusion there. Anyways, welcome to my channel, and if you haven't been here before, it's kind of a mishmash of lots of things that I like doing. I've been doing a lot of vlogs lately and a few live streams. I have a lot of video on the back burner that I need to edit, but I've literally been either sleeping or hacking out a lung for the last few days, so I haven't really been working on that. Today, though, I thought I would take a little bit of a break and we could try playing some games. I've purchased a bunch of games. I haven't even installed them yet into my system, and so we're going to try a little bit of that, and that way I can shrink this video capture window into a small one so you don't have to look at me being sick the whole time. Anyways, let's take a look at my desktop. There we go. As you can see, I have a bunch of games here. A lot of them are not installed. I haven't even opened most of these. Every time there's a Steam sale on, I get sucked into buying a bunch of things. I did do a Kinseed video. It's still I don't want to say beta. I think it's it's just in pre-launch right now. So we'll see how that goes. They did fix a lot of things in there. It is an interesting game. If you like Stardew Valley, then it's right up your alley probably. Graveyard Keeper, I have video for that. I just haven't finished editing it. Instead, what I might do is I might just do a live of the series instead, because it's pretty much self-explanatory as you're going through. Again, apologies for my throat. I think I did do a live on Moon Hunters, I think, or Shrouded Isle, I can't remember. But I think this time what I might try is The Witcher. I've heard a lot of really good things about this series. I tend to be a little bit late to the game when it comes to video games, especially on the PC, just because I don't like wasting my money and I don't want to spend money on a game that I might not enjoy. I have a very kind of good idea of the things that I am capable of playing and things that I enjoy. Now, The Witcher might end up being one of those series where I end up watching people play through on YouTube, just because I am not the greatest at real time and fighting. Like, I remember playing, what was it? One of those horror video games that were on the PS1. And they had a movie series out about it. It's about, you know, zombies and everything else. And Silent Hill, that was it. And I was basically, right at the beginning of the game, you're in the main hall of a mansion. You go off to the right, there's a hallway. You get a handgun with a clip of bullets, and you have a knife or whatever. And then you go down this hallway, which is right at the very, very beginning of this game. And these wolves crash in through the windows, and they come running up at you down the hallway. And here I am, just shooting this gun off, screaming, run out of bullets, I haven't hit anything, and then I'm just slashing the air with a knife, and then I'm dead. That is literally me in a lot of these real-time games. That's me in that game. So, I mean, not expect that it's going to be much better for either of these games, but I've heard really great things about the story and the narrative. And also because it's one of the games that's on my course recommendations. I'm taking a video game narrative course right now, and I'm doing okay in it, but one of the things they've asked us to do is to try out a game that's on this huge list of games, to kind of play through and experience the narrative, just so that we have a good idea of what we're trying to accomplish. So here we are, halfway through this course, and I still haven't even booted it up yet. I bought it. It was on sale, thank goodness. I'm thinking I'm starting with Witcher 1. I didn't buy Witcher 2. I don't know why I didn't buy Witcher 2. I guess because I heard it wasn't as good as Witcher 1 or 3. So I do, as you can see here, I've got a few friends who play it. I'm just going to go ahead and install that. I do not need a desktop shortcut. I do need a start menu shortcut. And yep, that's going in the right place. So you guys get to watch me install the game. This is pretty standard for Steam if you're not familiar with it. I do like Steam just because it doesn't require me to have all these games loaded onto one particular console or PC. I had a crash of my previous laptop last summer, I think it was, and luckily most of my games are on Steam. I do own Dragon Age Origins out of the box set, so luckily I can just reinstall that on a new system, and at least at this point in time my systems have been coming with a CD drive, so I'm not too worried about that. But I was playing on my old PC. It is literally 10 years old. It still runs a lot of these things, it still runs a lot of the Steam items, but it is a bit on the pokey side, so I'm glad I did get a new to me laptop, but I will probably be upgrading at some point. Alright, so here we go. It is installed. Let's see. My trusty tissue papers here so I can blow my nose as needed. I'm very stuffed up right now. And I wish my voice wasn't so funny sounding right now. Right. Here we go. I'm just gonna start off. Play The Witcher Enhanced Edition. Launch Adventure Editor. Launch The Witcher Digital Comic. Let's just play the game. Edition CD key, blah 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 blah. Copy key to clipboard. Okay. I'm just going to put this into a notepad. Just because I don't want to lose track of it somehow or get lost on my clipboard somehow. Just move that off the screen here. Play. Whoa, ready to launch at 32 minutes. That's going to be a lot of chit chat. I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully that'll come down. I guess because it's the oldest game, there's more updates. This is kind of scary. Oh, well, it's coming. It's taking a while. So I'm just going to let that download. I don't have it set to launch immediately. Instead, what should we do? I mean, I do have Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I installed and I haven't played. And I've been told by many of my friends that it's a really awesome game. And it does tie into a lot of the setting and the feeling and the genre of the Vampire the Masquerade tabletop game and LARP. So, I mean, I could try. Otherwise, I could go in to play a new game of Dream Daddy. I haven't started Tales of Symphonia yet. I pretty much just loaded it, or installed it. And I could install Witcher 3 as well. Yeah, I've purchased a lot of things. I haven't installed Civ 5 yet on this system yet either. Choices. Now what do I do? Yeah, this is going to take a while. So, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't have a lot of followers on my channel yet, so I'm not really ready to give away a bunch of items. Sorry, my brain just faltered there for a second. So, yeah. Well, let's see. I kind of had my heart set on playing Witcher. Now, I am interested in playing Tales of Symphonia as well. Just because I did used to own the original Tales of series, Tales of Destiny 1 and 2, way back in the day on PS1. I have since lost the games because I lent them to somebody, and I don't remember who, and they've just kind of buggered off. And I still have the memory cards with the save games on them. I still have a PlayStation 2. I could still play them if I got them back. I just don't have them back at this point, and they're just too expensive to replace because they're something around $150 USD right now, and I just don't want to spend that amount of money on that when I could do other things like pay down debt or get cool prizes to give away for this channel. I suppose I could go ahead and try one of these other games. I don't have... Where did I do with my controller? Just because I don't know how well these games are going to play without the controller. You know what? Let's just try Vampire the Masquerade and see what the heck that's all about. So, apologies in advance if you were expecting to come and see me play Witcher, because I have mentioned before to a couple of other people that I was planning on doing a live stream of me playing Witcher, but that is just not going to happen today. Probably, maybe a little later today if I decide to do another live stream. So if you are interested in that, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, comment, and I will let you know when the next one's coming up. Wow, that was going to take forever. And they must be downloading from somewhere. It's even slowing down launching this other game. Alright, here we go. Now, if I remember correctly, I do need to launch from that little link that's on the desktop, just because it's an old game and apparently super buggy, and you need to have this launcher in order to play this game because it fixes a lot of those issues. Oh, it's an Activision. Ooh. I know that's a bad name right now for a lot of people who are playing a lot of the larger MMOs and other things. So that's the White Wolf logo. If people aren't familiar with White Wolf, they've been around since, God, what, the 80s, 90s? And they started mostly with tabletop role-playing games. Vampire the Masquerade being one of them. Werewolf the Apocalypse. Changeling the Shrouded Isle, I want to say. No, Changeling the Dreaming. Can't remember. And Mage the Ascension, I believe. Tabletop games. And then they branched out to different versions of that. And they've come up with LARP products. And there was even like a television show at one point which didn't do a very good job of explaining the setting for Vampire the Masquerade, because it can be quite complicated. And unless you're doing something like a fish out of water type of character, it's hard to learn everything at once. So let's take a look at the options. Move forward, backward, left turn, right turn. Oh my god, strafe left. I'm gonna suck at this game. Alright, we're gonna see how we do. Okay, shift is walk, jump, crouch is control, swim up, swim down. Oh my goodness. Attack is a mouse 1, or enter. Reload, holster. Last weapon. Hopefully there's going to be a tutorial for this. I'm not going to change anything just because I don't want to get lost in this. World of Darkness is a place where immortal monsters pull the strings of humanity. Violence and despair are common here. The world is bleak, but escape is an ever-present commodity, perhaps too persistent. Alright, so we're going to create a new character. Would you like to answer a series of questions about the type of vampire you would like to play and allow the game to create your character? Go directly to the character sheet and set your character's clan attributes and abilities yourself. Well, I'm very familiar with this setting and character creation in this game. But I'm kind of curious to see what kind of questions they're going to ask and what kind of character they're going to kind of plug in for me. I'm going to play a female character because I'm a lady and I feel like I enjoy playing female characters. That might put me at a disadvantage for some things because if it's true to a bleaker version of this reality, not that this reality's all that, you know, great either now at times, playing a male would probably get me a little further. Alright, I'm in a convenience store looking through the beer freezer when all of a sudden a man walks in and pulls a gun on the cashier. Do you sneak up behind him, disarm him, and proceed to beat him senseless, or quietly make your way to the bathroom and lock yourself in? Now this is a question. This is a character I want to play, or is this going to be me? If I were an immortal being where bullets really don't do all that much harm, I would probably sneak up behind him and disarm him. You're outbid at an auction for a macabre piece of art that you must have. You know the collector who won it. You've even been to his house. Do you get a few drinks into him later on and persuade him to sell it to you? Wait until he leaves, find a spare key, make it look like a robbery. Write an unflattering critique on the artist, get it published, and wait for your friend to try and unload it. Oh! So, the way the setting is set is you're a bunch of immortal vampires, and you've survived decades, centuries, or whatever. And everyone is kind of out for number one. You jostle for power within your community if that's what you want to do. But there's a general sense of rules and traditions that you play into. Otherwise, it'd be complete anarchy. And sometimes doing something like number 3, that's something that my character would probably do. But it's kind of like a lot of chess moves or go moves where you kind of just look into the future and try and be like, okay, what is this guy going to do? How do I get it to work in my favor? But I think this is going to work. Be a night person. You watch a lot of late night TV movies. 3 movies are on. Which one do you watch? Fist of the Monkey King, a wire-fu film with that scene where Wu beats 20 armed men with his bare hands. Sword of the Bushi, a Japanese film where a lone samurai cuts a path through a gang of yakuza. Sergeant Murderstein III, the cop that doesn't play by the rules, takes on the drug cartel that kidnapped his daughter with only his trusty 44 to back him up. Oh my god. I'm not sure. I mean, I would watch that one. My character, though, let's see. Let's try that one. Number 2. You're stuck in traffic after a concert, and the guy behind you is laying on the horn. Your friends in the car are urging you to park the car and help them stick the dude's horn somewhere uncomfortable. Do you get out, pull the guy out of the car, and put him in the hospital? Talk your friends down. You don't need a lawsuit or jail time. I would probably talk him down. There are other ways to get this dude. You do not need to do a confrontation right away. A bouncer at the opening of an exclusive nightclub won't let you inside to a party with all the beautiful people. Do you? A. Convince him you work for that director. You know who, and you'll bring him with you next time. 2. Hide out by the back exit. Wait for someone to leave and then slip in undetected. Bribe him. Everyone has got their price. And it's worth it to get to know the kind of people inside. That would depend. Like, do you have the money to bribe somebody? That would be the easiest way. I personally don't like people who like to pull around big names. Bribe him. Let's pretend I got a lot of money. It's late. You're at the red spot waiting for your microwave burrito to heat up. There are 3 arcade games to waste some time on. Which ones do you play? The fighting game. I pull off the triple flash uppercut as a finisher every time. The beat 'em up game where you can pick up the bat and whomp on the hordes of generic thugs. 3, that sniper game with a realistic gun for a controller. Ooh. I mean, there's something satisfying about one of those kind of beat 'em up games where you can just wallop a whole bunch of people. But at the same time, there's just like a certain amount of skill that you need for the sniper game. I wouldn't necessarily be good at that game, but it would be fun. As you're walking home late at night, you hear footsteps, glance back, and suddenly realize someone is following you. Do you turn to confront them, or duck behind a tree to lose them? Well, as a lady, depending on the situation, like the area you're in, sometimes confronting them is the better thing to do. So because they may not be expecting it, and most times when someone's looking for a victim, they don't want to kind of cross paths with someone who's willing to put up a fight or willing to take things a step further, so they'll usually back off. So I'll pick that one. You hear a noise in the middle of the night and decide to investigate. You grab the metal bat under your bed or the gun in the nightstand. The metal bat, because honestly, if they're there for some reason other than just robbing you blind, easier to get answers with the metal bat. I mean, the gun will be fast, but you might accidentally kill your intruder. Or it could be, you know, someone related to you who just forgot the key. The world's a cruel and unforgiving place, but you've gotten by so far. Why? It may be cruel for you, but for me it's hilarious. Or when you're as talented and as attractive as I am, the world is your plaything. Ooh! Maybe I'll end up being a Malkavian if I do that. Malkavian's one of the Vampire the Masquerade clans that have to deal with insanity. I guess, you know, in your afterlife you need to have a few laughs, because if things come too easily for you, they're not worth having. Yeah, let's go for that one. I knew it. You've been embraced by the Malkavian clan, inflicted with insanity. Malkavians use their madness to provide them with surprising and sometimes disturbing insights. The inner voice may tell them of someone's true intent, or it may betray them completely. Alright, okay, let's try it. Your vampire's attributes and abilities have now been determined and entered into this character sheet, which you will see next. After your tour of the character sheet, you may make changes to the character, or simply play it as it is. Alright. So I have more mental and social attributes, obviously. Physical is like the bare minimum. I think I'm going to change my brawl to subterfuge. How do I change this? Okay. Members of the insane Malkavian clan possess a dark intellect, so your strongest attribute is mental, in which you have 2 points you can spend. You also have 1 point to spend in social and no points in physical, your weakest attributes. As for your abilities, being Malkavian gives you an advantage in your insightful knowledge, in which you have 3 points to spend. You only have average abilities and skills, 2 points, and are weak in talents. Okay. Feats are the actions you perform in the game. Feats are derived from adding an attribute and an ability. An example would be the feat of lockpicking, which is derived from the attribute of dexterity and the ability of security. Hovering your mouse pointer over a feat will highlight the attribute and blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's basically describing the game, the character sheet, and how they interact with each other. Alright. They're going to give me 2 dots of dementation. That is interesting. In the original Vampire the Masquerade, Malkavians did not have dementation, they had dominate. This must have been created after that point when they switched back. So I'm a member of the Malkavian clan. Cursed with incurable insanity, Malkavians are free from the confines of rationality, and this freedom is coupled with an uncanny sight, a strange wisdom that cannot be perceived by the sane. Their disciplines are auspex, dementation, and obfuscate. Okay. My humanity is 7, and 7 is the norm. 10 is saintly, and the lower you go, the closer to the beast you become. So basically, a man-ravening creature that exists only on instinct and nothing to do with rationality and morals. And so the lower your humanity, the greater your chances of frenzying, which basically you lose all control and you attack everything. Okay. Whew. Masquerade violations. So vampire in this game, vampires live hidden from normal human society, and they upkeep what's called the masquerade, in which they wish for humanity to continue believing that vampires are just a myth and a story, a boogeyman. They're not real, they don't exist. And they feel that they can more safely exist and manipulate humankind in this situation. Anytime a vampire is seen doing a supernatural act by mortal is considered a masquerade violation. You have 5 chances. Each strike will have repercussions. If you commit 5 masquerade violations, you'll be dealt with harshly. This is where information on things you were hovering over is displayed. Okay. Auto level is off. Oh, allocate. Okay. The computer can allocate for you or not. Okay, let me change my talent. I'm going to change Brawl into Subterfuge. Which means I'm really just going to get my ass kicked a lot. I don't know why Subterfuge is under a talent. Because Subterfuge is more like manipulative or, you know, pulling the wool over someone's eyes. Scholarship. Gather information. Investigate. Okay, melee, firearms, security, stealth. I'm gonna really just suck at all of this stuff. Mass hallucination. Yeah, well, I might as well keep it. Okay, here we go. Accept. Oh, I need a name. Ooh, what my name gonna be? I have an insane vampire. Let's see. Let's call her Kara. Kara, because I can. Kara Wilson. Why not? Okay. Everything's done except the embrace, the act of transforming a mortal into a vampire. So I guess I'm coming in with no knowledge of the setting of this game. This can be a little bit overwhelming, which is why they put the questionnaire in. That light. I think this is supposed to be your character's embrace. So in essence, what happens is they kill you and then they feed you the blood and then you become a vampire. Oh. Probably not an authorized embrace.
My fellow kindred, my apologies for disrupting any business or interfering with prior engagements you may have had this evening. It's unfortunate that the affair that gathers us together tonight is a troubling one. We are here because the laws that bind our society, the laws that are the fabric of our existence, have been broken. As prince, I am within my rights to grant or deny the kindred of this city the privilege of siren. Many of you have come to me seeking permission, and I have endorsed some of these requests.
The voice acting is quite nice.
The accused that sits before you tonight was not to refuse permission. Indeed, my permission was never sought at all. They were caught shortly after the embrace of this child. It pains me to announce the sentence, as up to tonight I considered the accused a loyal and upstanding member of our organization. But as some of you may know, the penalty for this transgression is death. Know that I am no more adjudicator than I am a servant to the law that governs us. Let tonight's proceedings serve as a reminder to our community.
Makes me wonder what if it would look like if they redone the graphics up to today's standards. It would actually be pretty cool.
Forgive me. Let the penalty commence. Which leads to the fate of the ill-begotten progeny. Without a sire, most child are doomed to walk the earth never knowing their place, their responsibility, and most importantly, the laws they must obey.
This is very true.
Therefore, I have decided that this is bullshit!
Oh.
If Mr. Rodriguez would let me finish, I have decided to let this kindred live. They shall be instructed in the ways of our kind and be granted the same rights. Let no one say I am unsympathetic to the plights and causes of this community. I thank you all for attending these proceedings, and I hope their significance is not lost. Good evening.
So that's pretty much a really good insight into a little bit about the way that in this setting characters kind of play politics and...
Your sire, tragic. My apologies.
Oh.
But you see, there is a strict code of conduct.
They're going to go through the rules.
Must adhere to to survive. When someone, anyone breaks these laws, they undermine the very long fabric of our centuries-old society. Understand my predicament. Allowing you to live makes me directly responsible for your subsequent behavior. So, what I'm offering is not generosity, but the opportunity
Girl, pull up your skirt.
woven by your sire. This is your trial. You will be brought to Santa Monica. There you will meet an agent by the name of Mercurio. He will provide the details of your labor. I've shown you great clemency. Prove it was more than a wasted gesture, fledgling. Don't come back until you do. Good evening.
I'm guessing he's a Ventrue. I wonder how many different openings there are depending on what clan you end up. Use the mouse to look around. To move. Toggle. View toggle key. Z to be switched between first and third person views. Click to continue.
What a scene, man. Woo-wee. They just plop you out here like a naked baby in the woods. How about that? Look, kiddo. It's probably a lot for you to take in, so, let me show you the ropes. What do you say? What? Oh, man. And you're a goddamn Malkavian, too. Wow.
Oh, okay, so I actually have to press the numbers.
I'm Jack. What's important is I'm offering help. You make it back from Santa Monica with your hide, and we'll trade life stories, okay? Till then, I got about
So I have 4 options. I shall undertake your dark tutelage. Break down for me the bare-bone basics. I didn't understand the play they gave. I need no guide on this dark path. Leave me. Yeah, let's do 2. I want to keep my options open. I don't want to be beholden to anyone, like, especially right off the bat.
Now these lessons aren't just for your benefit, so listen up. First, the masquerade. You're gonna be hearing a lot about this, so let me sum up real quick. Sure, you're a vampire. Great. Keep it to yourself, okay? It's easier that way, trust me. That's the masquerade. Keeping vampire secrets secret. Easy, right? Easy peasy. Now, if you violate the masquerade, you run around spooking union or whatever, you make things harder on all of us. Then all of us get pissed off and we come after you. And you end up like your science on a stake in the cave. And then they kiddo. Right on. Next, humanity. Being a vampire is the end of the road.
This is interesting because they actually lay out most of what you need to know.
Man, it ain't quite an easy bit. You're gonna be fighting that beast for the rest of your days every time you get into it. Whenever you kill an innocent, you fight the beast a little more. And it grows a little stronger. After a while, the beast can take over and you'll go wild and have to be put down like a rabid dog. So, you know, fight it. Don't be a homicidal maniac. That'll help with the masquerade, too. When it all comes together, ain't that nice?
So I'm not sure in this game, but in the other game, in the tabletop game, in the LARP, it's the closer you are, the higher your humanity, the less monstrous you kind of are perceived. Not like you physically look necessarily, but if you have very low humanity, for instance, people are gonna be like, there's something, like, you know, that creepy feeling you get sometimes when you meet people. A lot of ladies probably would understand this, is that you just meet that guy that he looks normal or whatever, but he just gives off that weird vibe that you're like, I don't want anything to do with this person. It's kind of like that.
Now, with all that said, you still have to keep your ass alive. For that, you're gonna have to feed. That's what blood sucking. Imagine you're feeling that thirst right about now, huh? Get it where you can, however you can. Just remember the first 2 lessons. Don't let anyone else see you feeding. They'll flip out and cause you to break the masquerade and cause some bigger, badder vampire to come stuff a mud hole in your ass. Also, drink deep, but don't drain them dry. See, that's giving in to the beast. If you do that, you lose your grip on your humanity and you lose control. There we go. It all fits together. Can you dig it?
That's interesting that his voice goes in and out of focus.
Ship off like a good little soldier. If you pull this off, come downtown to the last round and I'll tell you how jacked this whole situation is. Until then, good luck. Or maybe I should just say, nice knowing you, kiddo.
All right. Oh, good. They set us up with a little bit of something to start off with. All right. Ooh. How do I interact with something? No, that's not what I want to do. No. Options. How do I interact with things? La 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 la. Use. Yeah, let's set a new key. All right, what am I going to use? Mouse 3. All right, sounds good. Continue. All right, now I have a way of using things. Okay. Let's take this money. Awesome. Alright, so you actually have to type this stuff. Password required. Press Control C to use the hacking feat. Okay. Alright. Does that not work? Okay. Well. Okay, well. That's that. Ooh! What going on? Oh, my Steam's updating. Let's go back to the game. Because that's what we were doing. Sorry about that. I should probably disable those notifications when I'm playing games. Anyways, this is pretty interesting starting off, but the controls are a little confusing. There are just so many. I'm not sure what all of everything else is going on. So it's going to take a while, I think, for me to get the other game up and going. Let's just exit out of the computer here. All right, I'm assuming I need... All right. I have no handguns, light clothing, use. Okay, that's my inventory.
Though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the bang to assist them in their search.
Uh-oh.
Have more on the story as it breaks. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. In other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as ripped, torn, bloody entrails smeared upon the walls, splatter on broken windows, feet in weird places. Murder, murder, murder. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the -0 star emerged unscathed and apparently unfazed by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that the studio is not pursuing legal action against Rivers for the trademark Ape's destruction. Miraculously, this is the second crash Rivers has escaped unharmed in the last year. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger.
Okay, well, I know what's going on there. Let's give her some blood. Use. Okay, so looks like that is it. I don't know how to look at this. Because that was the use icon, but I'm not able to actually use it. Is there like a read icon? feed is F. Quest log is that. What else is Q? This is like a lot of things to remember. What I might do is take some time to learn all of the keys and everything, just because it's a lot of things to remember. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm just going to do that. And then I'll try it and start this up again, maybe with a different type of character, and then see if I can get this to go a little more smoothly without me trying to figure out how everything works. Just because, again, you can see from here, there's a lot of stuff to remember. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you won't be stuck listening to me cough and kind of garble my way through everything. Okay, I guess I will see everyone later then. If you guys would prefer me to try playing Witcher 3 or Witcher 1 or Witcher 3, let me know. Otherwise, I might just go back into this again, because it's still another, God, how long? They're installing everything from the Witcher stuff right now, which is going to take a while. So my guess is that it's going to be probably another 20 minutes or so, and I don't want this to drag on forever. So yeah. I'll see if I get some of my light settings better as well. One of my lights just died, so I need to charge that up again. And maybe, I don't know, try doing another vlog at some other point and editing some of this video tonight, I hope. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for coming. Bye.